purpose why we're here is to try, you all know that the government launched the National Action Plan on Women, Peace and Security. Tunajua? Wangapi wanajua? How many knew about the launch in March? Oh, very few. And in the folders that you have, there's a copy of the National Action Plan. So we'll get to know about it by the end of tomorrow, at least we don't have a general idea about them now. We have Peacenet Kenya, also introduced herself, Rural Women Peacenet as a partner. Amani Communities Africa, they're based in Nairobi, and they work in Eastern and around Eastern Province and Nairobi as well. And we have Footprints for Change, which is a youth organization doing this work in Nairobi. The overriding theme for the National Action Plan is kuhusisha wanawake, kudumisha amani. So we are here to see how to enhance women's participation in women, peace and security. And I'm very happy that most of the leaders that we invited from the 3 counties are here, both from the national government, the county government, and also other community leaders and religious leaders as well. We are very happy about that. So I look forward to our fruitful engagement from all of you, active participation, and to learn how we can enhance women's participation, and also as men champions. I'm happy that half the room we are women. So men, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. We're very happy about that. And we look forward to working together. We continue the process in our own counties, because even as we have visitors coming, it shouldn't be a one-off event. It should be a continuous process. We have elections next year, so we need to set the ground for how things are going to be next year. So thank you very much.
But then before I get there, I would like to bring us to attention on the following. That we should always remember this, even as we try to work on issues of the United Nations Security Council, Agenda 1325, that for Kenya to move forward, the Kenyan Constitution angers so much in what Agenda 1325 talks about, the additional number of policies and framework that are put in place. The preamble itself, which I understand most of you, of course, basically understand, talks about the spirit of Kenya that is united, that is diverse, going to protect the rights of young people, the rights of women, the rights of adults, everyone, namely. And of course, it also talks about how about citizens' engagement? How can citizens be part and parcel of the process that's going to move this country in a much more peaceful platform where there is respect for human rights, and of course, the socio-economic rights for young people, women, and everyone is guaranteed. But at the same time, look at it in terms of that the people of Kenya at the same time have a sovereign power. The power still rests with the people of Kenya to see that even if we have all these policies in place, if we have all these laws in place, at the same time, it still boils back to us as the people of Kenya, because we have one problem to ensure that our legal frameworks, one, are supported, two, are implemented, and three, also respected. But
I just wanted to indulge you maybe in a short conversation on conflicts within your community. Maybe you can just share with us from the past how conflict was and how women were, for example, involved or affected by the conflict. Yesterday, Leonard shared with us that in their community, in West Pokot, during conflicts, women are not affected. Okay, they are affected, but they are not targeted in terms of sexual and gender violence. They do not experience it. If cases are there, they are very minimal, yeah? So maybe from other communities, you can share with us, in the past, how was it when you had conflict? Where were the women during conflict, during training? Any volunteers? How was it? Yes.
Just to mention that among the Kalenjin, women were referred to as children.
As children?
Yes, not because of anything, but because of they needed that protection from men during conflict. So women and children could be protected together.
So the women were protected, they were kind of kept aside. That is a priority. Okay, any other experience?
Also to note, in many Kalenjin sub-tribes, when there is war, they don't target women and children. They are already, even if it is from the warring community, when you go there, you only look for men who are old enough to fight. But children and women, they are left aside.
Okay, thank you for that. So as you can see, in most communities, in the past, during conflict, women and children would be kept aside, and then the war would take place in a different location. But then you realize that with time, or in the modern days, conflict has been, as you always say, it has been transferred to a woman's body. And we also saw this in the post-election violence, where rape has become a tool of war. So if you want to destabilize a community, as Mavic was saying, a woman is raped, and that's the only way you're going to be recognized or referred to by people in your community. We've had situations where a woman is raped, and the husband abandons her because he cannot stand being in her presence. There's a lot of stigmatization in terms of sexual and gender-based violence affecting women. Other than that, when it comes to resolving conflicts, we still have a minimal representation of the number of women in the negotiation table.
My name is Philip Barno from Uasin County. My organization is called the Laureate Initiative on Conflict Resolution.
And what have you learned so far in this workshop?
I think so far we have learned first about the Resolution 1325, which is an awareness to us and the roles that we need to play as civil society to empower the counties and especially the women, so that I think they're included in the decision making.
So what will you take away with you from this workshop?
I think from this workshop, we'll take with us the information we have received on Resolution 1325, first, and two, to highlight it to our county and highlight to the civil society groups in the county, and three, to the county executives and the county assembly, so that we could sit together and form a stakeholder meeting and implement what the Resolution 1325 says.
Great. And how will you use these concepts with your work?
Yeah, I think these concepts we shall use it for education and awareness. And as I've seen also, the civil society organizations have a chance not only on gender, but also on HIV/AIDS. That you can also come in through HIV/AIDS, those who are doing health issues through the Resolution 1325, 1320, 1888, can be able to come up also and work for the women. Pardon?
What are your personal commitments to your own community?
Yeah, I think we are appealing to our community to be able to give room to implementation of Resolution 1325, and especially bringing up the ladies, as we've seen from today's implementation, that I think Uganda have done something nice, that you cannot even sell the family food without asking the lady. So these are things that we need to learn about. Unlike in Kenya and my community, where the man sells or does trade for his family without even involving the wife.
Right. Use aspects of your culture to promote the rights of women and girls.
I think there are aspects of our culture which are good, where we esteem the gender, especially when in conflict. We are not allowed to kill a lady or to kill a child. These are the types of gender issues. We need to use them to tell them, hey, not only about conflict, it should also be about decision making, it should be about resources, education, and all this. So we need to use our cultures to really promote. But we also need to remove the bad cultures that suppress the lady.
Right, the bad practices.
Yeah, bad practices.
Excellent.
My name is Rose Wakasa Maeko. I work with the county government of Bungoma as the chief community/social development officer.
Great. And you were saying that you came actually from civil society?
Yeah. Since I graduated in 2002, I took the center stage to start an organization known as Bungoma Teenage Mothers Empowerment Organization, which operates in the county because of the need for capacity building for the young girls, especially from my area. I realized that I was the only girl who had gone up to university.
Wow.
And as you see many of the young men on motorcycle, they are riders, you ask yourself, where are the girls? What are the age mates? They are not there.
Right.
And Bungoma County, when I did a survey, we came up with the issue that Bungoma County is the largest exporter of housemates to other counties. So that's why I decided to start the organization. It was a community-based organization. I started it with 15 other like-minded women. And I'm happy that today we have supported one girl who is a state council.
Oh my gosh.
Mary Law Court. We have supported 5 who are ECD teachers, and currently we have about 52 girls in high school.
52?
52.
Oh my gosh.
And we lobby support from business people, from friends, just to support them be in school.
That's tremendous work. And so it's continuing, even though...
Continuing, I relinquished as the chief executive officer for the organization, and I'm now the patron.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you do for your job with the county government?
My county government, my job is community consultations, community trainings on various issues. I cut across, as a staff of the county government, I cut across all the ministries. Because be it roads, when they're building any roads or infrastructure, we need to tell the community to appreciate that project that is being funded by the county. And then the sustainable part. Any project must be sustained even after the funders.
Right.
So I train them. I also help them write proposals, the various groups.
Do you must use your background with civil society? Do you find you use it?
Very helpful. And I use it a lot because even mobilization, when you're mobilizing people for even any meeting for the county government, you must cut across. And from the civil society background, all stakeholders matter. You cut across persons with disability, the older people, the professionals. You don't just bring one group.
Right.
The youth should be represented.
Yeah.
Civil society is working in that area.
Right. Great. So what have you learned from this workshop?
This workshop, the localization of 1325, it has really been an eye-opener. And for the 1325 to be appreciated down to the communities, we must localize it. We must bring everybody on board, people who are stakeholders, who will run with this with passion.
Right. So how do you feel like you'll take what you learned from the workshop and use it with your work?
I'm going to take it as a passion. I'm going to work around it. I'm going to lobby also. You realize that the year is closing, the financial year is closing, then it's starting next month. In all my meetings, I'll commit that the localization of 1325 comes up strongly.
Great.
I'll do an extra mile.
That's great. And so what do you feel like are your commitments to your constituents, to your people in your community? What do you feel like your commitments are to the people in your community?
Empowerment. I'm passionate about empowerment. Yeah, just empowering the people is powerful.
Right.
It is not only helping them, but you are also helping yourself. Yeah, for example, you get to a place back home, and yes, you are coming out of a vehicle, and the rest of people don't have even a bicycle. Yeah? So they become a burden, a social burden to you. So my desire is that I work around the clock, though silently, when there are opportunities. I'm proud that since I joined here, county government, even if it's a job opportunity, I tell them, apply.
Yes.
Apply. Those who have this qualification, apply. And go up to the interview stage, defend yourself. So I try to even capacity people. When there are such opportunities, I go back home and tell them, look, even in funerals, in local meetings, I tell them, look, there are opportunities here. If you know anybody who is having this qualification, let them apply. So when I came here last year in March, up to today, I'm happy to report that I've tried to place even young people. They come to my office looking for a job. I can't employ directly.
Sure.
The county government who does.
Right.
But they hang around my office. I engage them on voluntary basis because I'm a product of voluntary work. So when I meet people, like from 20th, there's a young girl who has been in my office for 4 months, and she's now going to work with Feed the Future.
Oh, excellent.
Going to earn even more than I do at the county government.
Great.
But I'm grateful because this girl is going to help her own siblings. She comes from a very, very humble background, very deserving help and need background. So I'm happy to report that she has been taken up just because I was visited. And I asked the person who visited from the future, kindly, do you have employment opportunities, even on voluntary?